White power.
I believe in white power.
Sorry, I have to stop laughing in my videos. Sorry. The reason why I'm laughing is you can't make this shit up. The African born again or evangelical movement or charismatic movement. The movement is determined to misdirect African people and those of us who identify as black. It's so unreal what they get away with. Now, this is just a quick aside, right? Because I've got to point this out. You see, the African or black born again, evangelical, charismatic Christians, they all have this one line. If you ever meet them on the street, particularly the women, the young women, they're somehow always attractive. And they come up to you and say, you know, I lived a life of sin when I was young. And you're looking at them and they can't be more than 21. So you say, how young were you? And they say, oh, I used to watch pornography, and I was involved in masturbation and how God saved me. They all say the same thing. You can go on YouTube, you can go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, you can go on Twitter, you can go on TikTok, you can go anywhere where there's people, and they'll tell you the same thing. They have the same testimony that when I was young, I got involved with pornography, and that led to masturbation. And until I turned to God, my life was ruined, and God saved me. But here's the thing. Why do they never turn to, I don't know, prostitution, alcoholism, crack cocaine, thieving? They don't ever seem to turn to these things. So they always turn to things that are what? Really of no consequence. These people are just jokers, man. It's just all a joke. And we allow them in our community.
Years, I'm still addicted to pornography and masturbation. You guys, I'm gonna leave a few devotionals that I read in the past that really helped me in the area of pornography and masturbation in terms of overcoming.
The African Christian conspiracy theorist movement is 100% down with white power. They see white power as the only legitimate force coming from the one true God, from their one true white God. So anything that white power does for them is okay. But they do have an issue with Israelis. But I think that's sorry, what I meant to say is that the split around Israel is a religious or religious interpretation of the Bible. But for the African Christian conspiracy theorists, they don't like Israel. they love everything else. They love the rest of white power, but they draw the line at Israel. So when their hero, their white power hero, Donald J. Trump, said to Kenya that if you want a deal, a trade agreement with the USA, you first have to recognize the state of Israel. The African conspiracy theorists, the Christian conspiracy theorists, hit the roof. Everybody was publishing videos and articles and tweets about the outrage of the US demanding that little old Kenya recognize the state of Israel. This was beyond the pale. I mean, they love the guy, right? I mean, the African Christian conspiracy theorist movement, they love Donald Trump. But to support Israel was going over and beyond devotion to their dear leader. So far, the Kenyan Christian conspiracy theorists have kept quiet about the other provisions within the proposed trade deal between the US and Kenya. And to my mind, these other provisions are way more important than whether Kenya recognises Israel. But for them who promote these conspiracy theories, for them, that is the issue. But I'm going to tell you what's far more important than Kenya recognising Israel.
Impacting all of us. You also said data is the new oil and intelligent data is the new petrol. What made you say that? What were you thinking?
Well, I think that at the foundation, Neelam, of the fourth industrial revolution is connectivity and data, right? The convergence of all the sciences is really brought about by connectivity and data. And yes, to my mind, data is the new natural resource. And fundamentally, you have to have a lot of people to generate data and use data. So in that sense, India is naturally blessed with its 1.3 billion people.
You just heard it. The richest man in India, the owner of Reliance Industries, just told you that data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. Are you hearing me? Data is the new oil. Now, in the proposed new deal between the USA and Kenya, the Trump administration is saying to the Kenyan government that all the data that flows through the internet in Kenya must be stored on servers, not in Kenya, but on servers in the US. So what does that mean? It means that at any point in time, the US can deny Kenya access to its own data. Now, for the Kenyan Christian conspiracy theorists and their friends around the world, this isn't an issue. because obviously white power must have its day. White power must have what it wants. So what does that mean in practice? It means any data that goes through applications that are owned by the large US tech firms, any of that data will be stored in the US. So, university data, medical data, financial data, security data, entertainment data, religious data, environmental data, police data, court data, any data you can think of that flows through any of the large American tech firms, all that data will remain in the USA. Now here's the thing. They say control is 9/10 of the law. So if the US is holding Kenya's data, do you think that Kenya could go to the Nevada desert and get back their data? And the US said that the deal that it's offering Kenya is going to be a template for how it interacts with obviously, you know, the exploited world. So this type of contract is going to be coming to you wherever you are on planet Earth. This contract is going to come to you. It's shocking stuff, isn't it? Now, at the same time as Trump's trade negotiators were speaking with the Kenyan government back in the summer of 2020, Trump was having a go at ByteDance. ByteDance are the owners of TikTok, and TikTok is operating in the US. Apparently it's got something like 3 million users or more, and it's growing rapidly. And Donald Trump said that ByteDance had to move its servers from China and from Singapore and keep its servers for TikTok in the USA. And Trump cited national security. It was a national security threat or a national security risk to have data belonging to the US being stored in China and in Singapore. So much so that Amazon, which is one of the biggest players in data management and data storage in the cloud, told all its employees that they had to delete the TikTok app from their phone. Why? Whew, you see? This is no joke. But while Trump is saying that to ByteDance, the US is forcing Kenya that if you want to deal with the US, you have to give over your data. And here's the thing, it's not even an issue. It's not an issue for those Africans and those who describe themselves as black. It's not an issue for them in terms of national sovereignty and control of your data. It doesn't faze them because they think that white power must have what it wants. But they've got conspiracy theories about everything else. They've got conspiracy theories about China and Israel. But your actual data, they think that the US deserves to hold their data. Okay, that's it. I finished.